Good to go anytime.
Let's see. Yeah, it's a little quiet, but I think I'll be able to get with it.
Yeah, should be good to go. Is it okay to start there?
If this is the wrong place, I quit. I'll explain that in a minute. My name is Justin Miller, and I was born and raised right here in Thunder Bay. Thank you. I'm always good for a cheap pop. There are two things you should know about me. Number one, I have a visual impairment. And number two, I suffer from a social impairment called generic name syndrome. The symptoms of generic name syndrome include being asked if I'm related to every Miller in town, and 9 times out of 10, my answer is no. Sometimes my answer is, hey, who are you, and what are you doing like on my front lawn? Well, other times my answer is, what did he or she do? And this answer is usually followed by a sprint. I guess I should explain what I meant when I said, if this is the wrong place, I quit. Being someone with a visual impairment, every time I go somewhere, it's like a hamster going through a maze for the first time. And with this visual impairment, I get asked a lot of questions. Most of them are pretty standard, while others, I guess I'll call them interesting. And the most interesting question I've ever been asked is someone came up to me and said, Justin, I know you can't see, but does that mean you can't cry? To which my immediate response was, no, but I can make you cry. I went on a date to the movies, and the girl I was with asked me to explain my visual impairment to her. And seeing as we had just finished watching the movie Avatar, I said, you know how you saw Avatar in 3D? Well, I didn't. Once, my brother wanted to teach me how to drive. I told him it was a bad idea. He went on to say he'd take me to a parking lot where it would be impossible for me to hit anything. I looked at him and said, if there's one thing for me to hit, and only one thing, guaranteed I'll hit it. Needless to say, we didn't go driving. Also, when it comes to cars, and someone comes to pick me up, and I'm unfamiliar with what their car looks like, I have to get up really close to see who's driving. Apparently, this freaks some people out. So if this happens to you, I just want you to know, I'm not trying to carjack you, I'm just trying to find my ride home. Now, I'd like to tell you a little more about myself. I'm hoping to become a motivational speaker, and knowing that, a friend of mine suggested I attend a Toastmasters seminar. So with a name like Toastmasters, I thought, either I'm going to arrive hungry and go home full, or I'm going to arrive sober and go home hammered. Now, I'd like to ask you guys some questions. How many of you have jobs? Okay, I was expecting more actually, but... Alright, how many of you have ever been fired from a job? Alright, I guess we've all been fired at least once in our lives, right? Come on, be honest. Finally, how many of you feel you were fired for a stupid reason? Well, I was fired for what I think is the strangest reason on the planet. I was fired from a job for having too much compassion. I remember going into the office. The guy looks at me and says, Justin, I have no doubt you can do the job, but you have too much compassion. In this job, you have to be persistent, almost to the point of being annoying. So I said, kind of like how you're being right now. All right, now I just want to throw a few random things out at you, and we'll see where this goes. I saw a picture of a woman with a tattoo of a spine going down her back, and the first thing that went through my head when I saw that, she must not be comfortable in her own skin. I opened a fortune cookie, and the fortune read, your concept of handling funds requires review. Great advice. Next time I'm not ordering Chinese. Alright, I'm going to end by saying I Googled myself today. And according to Wikipedia, I'm a baseball relief pitcher, a professional footballer, and a judge that was prominent during the 20th century. All that, and I was still able to come here tonight and perform. Thank you very much.